Well, good evening, everybody. My name is Ryan with Michigan Storm Chasers. We're going to dive into our weekly Sunday night live stream a little bit early today. Usually, wow. We usually do these about 7 to 8 o'clock in the evenings, but we're going to hop on here a few hours early. And then I got a few ideas and plans to go over some things later tonight. So I'll be busy. But for right now, this is going to be a typical live stream here, but we do have one topic here to discuss about tomorrow. We'll go ahead and dive right into it. But first, pop out the chat here. What's up, Roger? Forest Dog. Hey, nice to see you again here, Forest Dog. Julie. Hey, Julie. Thanks for becoming a member. Just saw you out there. Ashley in here. Got Alan, Jody, Annette, Tanya, Iron. What's up? What's up, everybody? All right. Let's go ahead and dive right in. So if you're new here, every Sunday, or usually every Sunday, right around 7 to 8 o'clock in the evening, we'll go live. We'll discuss upcoming week, the pattern. We'll look into the long-term 2, 3, 4-week time frame, give you our thoughts, what we're kind of seeing, stuff like that. But before we get too far into the weekly live stream, we're going to start off by saying today and tomorrow, although today's looking like it's going to be pretty much dry, but the environment today, as we mentioned on the page yesterday and today, does support a stronger storm or two. But again, the big question here is if storms can get up and going. Right now, it does not look like that's going to be the case. The radar is dry, so it should be a dry evening across the areas of concern, which would be right around the Grand Rapids, Lansing, over toward like Detroit area. Not seeing much at all. So today should be dry. Not expecting anything, but tomorrow, a little bit different story here. So we're looking at tomorrow. We're going to have this cold front swinging through from west to east. We're going to overlap our instability and our wind shear here. And then tomorrow afternoon here in southeast Michigan from roughly 127 to the east, the environment tomorrow does look to support a strong or perhaps even severe storm or two. And it does have that lift because that cold front is working through. So lift is not going to be the issue tomorrow. The main thing to watch tomorrow is going to be instability or storm fuel. How much of that we can build before that cold front swings through. And if we can build proper instability in eastern Michigan, we could be looking at a strong or perhaps a severe threat for storms over on that side of the state. This is just one model, though. We're looking at multiple, looking like the exact same areas on all these models. Just going to be a different timing and different stuff like that. So this is the NAM model, looking at the overlap here again for tomorrow. Move this back into the time frame. Here is your overlap. We're going to see a good increase here, especially up here in the thumb of Michigan. So anywhere from like Port Austin down here to Flint to Macomb County, those areas up there in yellowish orangish color, that would indicate the best environment tomorrow. And this is going to be by the mid-afternoon. This is at this time 3 p.m. And then that will quickly erode into the evening hours when that cold front swings through. It will drop temps a bit and also takes the instability with it. So early to mid to late afternoon is going to be your timing on that, right? Roughly 2 p.m. or so to about 6 p.m., roughly between that time frame. Eastern Michigan, I'm thinking more along the lines of east of US 23. But it could stretch back to 127 if this front slows down a bit. We'll have to kind of watch that and play it out. Currently, there is no severe risk from the SPC. However, the local NWS offices do mention potential for strong or perhaps severe weather here. So they're also keying in on this potential. Would expect the SPC to update this risk just probably for Eastern Michigan here for tomorrow. And the main threat in my eyes is going to be large hail damaging winds, although not going to say a zero tornado threat right now. It just does not appear to be overly concerning, but there is some wind shear there. We're going to watch that. We'll get a better idea tomorrow morning looking at real-time data, upper air analysis, stuff like that. But right now, primary hazards would be large hail and damaging winds. And again, that is dependent, or should I say conditional, if we can get enough storm fuel to build before that cold front works through. Because what could happen is that if that cold front comes through too quickly, we don't build enough storm fuel. Storms are either A, not going to go up at all, or B, they're going to struggle. So it's a conditional threat, but it is something we're watching more so higher than we'll say today with the environment. You know, we have a little bit of a better environment today. But tomorrow still looks pretty good as well. So with that being said, just keep in mind if you live, we'll say like Flint, Saginaw, Detroit, Ann Arbor, we'll say Lansing and Alma as well. I think it's going to be east of Lansing, Alma. I think it's going to be more so centered over toward toward US 23. So like Flint, Howell, Brighton, Ann Arbor, down toward Dundee, over to Canada. So Port Huron, Port Austin, Detroit, like Lapeer, those areas would be in a potential area of concern. But overall, that's something we're watching here. Want to get that out of the way first and foremost. So now we got that out of the way. We're going to move into the later part of this week. We're going to do this just a second here. Just got to check something real quick and we're going to be good to go. So the upcoming week, again, looking very pleasant. So we're looking at honestly 70s. We're going to look at the temperatures here based out of Grand Rapids. We'll go ahead and highlight here. There's not one day that looks to be, overly cold, so to speak. We're going to be low to mid 70s, maybe high 60s at times, but the low temperatures are going to be right around 50, if not a little bit higher than that. So we're looking at no freezing temperatures coming up, no snow chances. We had a few questions this week asking for snow chances, but it's basically May here, so those are pretty much on their way out. So no freeze potential, no snow potential, nice weather, upper 60s, low 70s, maybe hotter, a little bit cooler on some of these days. Low temperatures in the 50s for the next 10 days do look pretty likely. As far as rain chances go, we're watching again, isolated, very low chance today in South Michigan, but a bigger threat, bigger, should I say, risk will come tomorrow in eastern Michigan for some showers and storms to work through. Looking at the future forecast here, some of these short-term models, just to get an idea of what the radar could look like. This is the radar right now. Could have some scattered development tonight, possibly. Low chance for that. But overall, looking at the forecast for tomorrow, looking at Monday morning here, these are where the storms go up here, all the way over just toward Grand Rapids to Kalamazoo. They're going to mature. They're going to move east, northeast there. Additional development is likely further to the south and east there. So that is your area to watch for tomorrow for some severe weather or strong storms. I'm going to say strong at this point. We're not entirely sure on severe weather. Again, conditional risk for that. But tomorrow morning, afternoon, we'll watch right around 1, 2 p.m. I'll watch for storms to go up, probably right around Lansing area, maybe a bit west of there, maybe a bit east of there, depending on how everything times out. But that's just a general area. And then that's going to clear out. And after that, we're going to be dry for Tuesday. And then we're going to have to jump in here to the long-term model to get an idea of what's to come past that. So excuse me, after that passes through on Monday, precipitation chances would increase later on in the week towards the weekend, Friday time frame. Maybe a low chance on Thursday night. We'll have to kind of see how that times out as well. But Friday, next rain chance could be a little bit more so of stronger type of rain, not stronger, but like heavier type of rain. Early indications are saying half inch to an inch of rain for that Friday time frame. So nothing that concerns us right now for some severe, maybe some storms, but nothing severe at that point. At least for right now, that could change. But we're just talking rain, perhaps a rumble of thunder for Friday. And that would last into the day on Saturday here. Before we dry out for mostly Sunday here, maybe a passing rain shower on Sunday. And then as we get into early next week, we'll be watching a renewed chances for additional development of showers and storms into that second week there, starting around like May 6th or so. We see an active pattern setting up again for that first 5 to 10 days of May. So once we get past the weekend of next week, our eyes are going to turn to a few of these storm chances. I can go ahead and highlight that just briefly here, looking at a plethora of models here. We call them ensembles, giving us an idea of wind shear and instability overlapping. As we get past that May 5th, May 6th time frame, we start seeing increases in our area here of the instability overlapping with wind shear. So the environment around that time frame after next weekend would perhaps support some storm potential for the next couple of days, into the early to mid parts of next week. So watch that closely. But overall, the long-term pattern still nothing has changed in that. We're looking at above average temperatures and right about average precipitation here. So it's not going to change too much with what we thought last week. The CPC guidance here has pretty much stayed identical. Next 6 to 10 days. Whoa. 6 to 10 days here, you see all of Michigan in above average temps here. Going back here to the 8 to 14 day, we're going to look at the exact same thing here. Michigan is in that above average contour here. This is going to be from May 6th to May 12th. And we go to 1 month time frame, or actually go back to 3 to 4 weeks time frame here into the mid and late parts of May. This is going to be for pretty much the either average or just leaning above average for the state here. And then going back to the 1 month, we're going to see above average. This did not change from last time. Michigan is still in above average temperatures here. And also with precipitation, stuff like that. Looking at right about average precipitation. The next 6 to 10 days may be below average, but that should pick back up into early May. It's going to be a little bit of a quieter pattern next, we'll say 10 days or so past tomorrow. But overall, just expect nice weather, almost like spring, 60s, low 70s, abundant sunshine on most of these days. Get out, do some yard work, spring cleaning. It is time to do that. Just two chances we're watching Friday in particular, and then or Friday for rain, but then tomorrow for potential rain, and then also some storm chances. So that is your week ahead, really. We'll be going live again tomorrow morning if a risk that we think is going to develop is going to happen. We'll go live again tomorrow morning and cover it. Right now, no forecast. We're just kind of watching models, stuff like that. But tomorrow morning will be a big telltale sign of if we're going to have a shot at a stronger storm or two up there in the thumb, primarily of Michigan. But there's a chance all the way across from about Lansing over eastward into the thumb of Michigan through the border of Ohio. To the border of Ohio there. So with that being said, that is all I have to share with you guys tonight. Hop into the chat here. How cold will the temps go down? Not very cold. It's a pretty weak front, and that's also why we've been talking about, some of these risks that we've been having have weak lift. The cold front is not overly strong, so we are not overly concerned for a big temperature drop at all tomorrow. The front actually is going to pass through a little bit later on, perhaps Tuesday morning, if I'm not mistaken. So it's going to be in the vicinity triggering those storms, but it's not going to pass through until I think Tuesday. Possible risk for tomorrow? Yeah, Ford, there are some risks in our opinion. Again, the risk for the SPC is at this point a general thunder. Although if you look at the text here from Grand Rapids and Detroit NWS offices, they do highlight some potential here. You can zoom in and kind of read this a little bit here. Basically, it just says that it draws concern. Down here, it says, would not rule out storms approaching severe limits with more substantial cloud breaks. So basically saying, if we get the instability here, storm fuel, we could see a threat develop here. This is going to be from Detroit. And then also from Grand Rapids here, they also mention tomorrow as potential strong storms here. If I can find it where it says, yeah, right there. With potential for some stronger storms across the eastern forecast area. So that would be like Lansing area, maybe a little bit further west of there. So both of these offices mention potential for tomorrow, but right now the SPC does not have a risk in place. But honestly, I would expect them to add one at the 2 a.m. update tonight. Mike, yes and no. Our ingredients all there tomorrow for the cake in the oven. So if you guys missed the analogy that I made in the forecast for yesterday's severe threat, we have all the ingredients to make a cake, but we have no oven to cook it. That would apply to tomorrow in a sense that we actually do have a little bit more of an oven to cook with the cold front being in the area. So that provide the lift. But we're lacking the flour. How about that? The flour would be the storm fuel. We're not sure what type of storm fuel we're going to have tomorrow. Is it going to be abundant? Is it going to be enough? Is it not going to be enough? At that point, that's the main question for tomorrow. And it could go either way. Again, it's a risk we're going to communicate to you guys, but again, it's still up in the air. Caden, I'm going to say yes for right now. Watching that closely, especially in the northern thumb. Kenny, there is a low chance. And I say that because looking at the environment, there's a warm front draped across central Michigan from Grand Rapids over to Flint, especially toward Grand Rapids. The environment up there right now does look good for severe weather. But again, the big thing is we don't have that trigger to get things up and going. So we're likely going to stay dry through the evening. We could see some rain showers overnight tonight. Low chance of that happening. Right now, not seeing anything through the day today. Kendall, it is a possibility. I'm going to say check back tomorrow morning to see if there's updates from the SPC and our pages here as well. SPC are the people who issue the official outlooks. We're only giving you our opinion here. So we're going to defer most of the time to SPC here. So right now we're just kind of watching that risk, and we agree with both Detroit and Grand Rapids offices who are suggesting some storm potential if we can get ingredients to come together. Mount Pleasant area would not be in a, I mean, a little bit too far north in my opinion. Although I'm not going to completely rule that out. Although I think the chance is much higher off to your south and east tomorrow. All right, scroll back up here, see if I missed anything. I do not see anything. So, with that being said, I'm going to pop off here. I got some work to do tonight, and I'll see you guys. Hopefully, don't see you guys tomorrow, but if all things come together here, you'll see me live tomorrow morning about 9, 10 a.m. discussing potential risks, threats, stuff like that. So, stay tuned to that. Hope you guys enjoy your week upcoming, and we'll have you guys covered here if and when the time comes. So, with that being said, you guys have a great Sunday evening and a great week ahead.